Jolly too deficient, the fucking twist in my posture. Picking shots cause a rubber gotcha. If I proper, shrimp and lobster on my dock like a lobster. Giving shots to states to sustain my stature.
Extinction.
Gimmickry, ain't no gimmick behind the way that I'm designing my rhyme. Line for line,
We love you. We love you.
It's a flavor blood, whether you a little
Extinction. Extinction. Extinction.
We love you. 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 I love you. I love you. We 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 love you.
We don't stop. The barnacles under the boat. So Oxford Circus, if you're just passing, we're in a climate and ecological emergency. If you've just got here, we're in a climate and ecological emergency, and this week people are rebelling all across the world and telling governments around the world that we're not going to stop rebelling until they act now, until they tell the truth, until they go beyond politics to solve this emergency. We've seen over centuries how non-violent civil disobedience is the route to system change, and this system isn't working for anyone. Right now, we're going into the next mass extinction. So we need people who are here, who are rebelling, to sit down on the floor. We're going to have some comedy now from a stand-up comedian. It's going to be amazing, so sit down. If you're completely brand new and you've never been trained on how to deal with being arrested, just so you know, police are arresting some people in the area, so please be careful. Please look after yourself. Please look after your friends and your neighbors, and sit down now so we can hear from this wonderful stand-up comedian. Andy Holden and Simon Munnery. Here we go. Sit down, Oxford Circus.
Brothers and sisters of the inner city sham paradise of central London, what have we got? Nothing. When do we want it? Now. Ask yourselves a question. The Birmingham Six are free. When will the rest of Birmingham be free? Truth, that's what we need these days. Truth, not lies. Pass it round, you know what to look out for. If you've got a job, do it well. And when Friday comes, take a pay packet with pride, then give it back. Let them know you don't need their money, only their respect. Money can't buy you love, they say. But who are they? They're the Beatles, and they don't run this country, not anymore. Travel. When in Rome, get pissed, that's one attitude. Absorb all the culture and art, that's another attitude. But you don't have to choose. You don't have to decide. You can take some cans with you to the art gallery or bring some postcards back to the pub. And generally speaking, don't choose. Don't make decisions. Be free. Be vague. Freedom through vagueness, that is the way forward. Teachers, another word for police. Thank you. Any vegetarians out there? On your side. On the other hand, Meat is murder, claim the vegetarians. It's a good point. You know, I used to work once in a slaughter yard, and I know that me and other lads in that slaughter yard, we never deliberately killed those animals. It was the only way of getting any meat off them. If there'd been another way without hacking them around, we'd have taken that. Meat is murder, no. Meat is accidental manslaughter. That is the truth. Maybe music can provide some of the answers. 10 years ago, some mates of mine formed a band. They weren't very good. They kept hacking away with those guitars. They got better. Time came for them as a band to choose themselves a name, and they called themselves The Clash. Yeah, and that led to legal problems. You can't name yourself after a band that already exists. I'm going to show you some art now. It's the first one I did. It's untitled, but I think what it says is very clear indeed. Next one, first one I did with the title, it's called Modern Dilemmas. Yeah, we've all been there, 10:30 on a Friday. This one is, I was going to a more abstract phrase. It's called Spot the Policeman. That's right, it's one on the end with a helmet. This one is called Our Lives. Someone there digging into a huge pile of shit marked the future, digging it over his shoulder into a skip full of shit marked the past. Our lives. But what about their lives? It's exactly the same, only better drawn. Thank you. This one is called Horse. It's a horse. He's on the ground there. They're ground animals. That's where they live. That's the sun up there. There's a bird flapping about in the sky. Imagine it's free. And now Horse again. This time Horse looked at from a radical perspective. There we go. That's right. It's from the horse's perspective. That's what the horse sees. Looking down, just a bit of grass, his hooves. Any Scottish people out there tonight? Afternoon, whatever. I'm on the side, the Scottish people tried to move up there, Scotland. I was in Glasgow one time in this bar, Rangers fan, Celtic fan, they don't like each other, they're arguing. I split them up, stop arguing you, I said to them, and I pulled their football scarves off them and tore both scarves in two. And they're looking at me, what's going on? But I knew in my head, and I got those scarves off them, and I tied them back together in a special way to create two new combined Rangers and Celtic scarves. And I gave them back. And do you know what happened? They attacked me. Together. They may have knocked me down, but I knocked down the barrier between them. Anyway, I've got a joke for you. What do you get? Nothing. Blame the government. Cheers. Don't go back to your old values.
The Samba band has arrived. Let's make some noise. Last night in Parliament Square, they were down to a few people lying on the ground, and then the Samba band arrived, and they retook Parliament Square. The Samba band has come to Oxford Circus!
Thank you, Simon.
Thank you for that comedy. It's important to remember that Samba has a political, radical history, and it's so important that we have creativity and music at the heart of this rebellion.
Extinction.